Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game, Total Warhammer 3. Here we are with Gor-Rok once more. He is such a hero. We're gonna fight Rakarth. Let's get to it. It says it's gonna be a close victory. Maybe it will be. I'm pretty confident that we're gonna pull it down, however. This is not the first army of Rakarths that we've been dealing with, of course. Indeed, Neo, we are going to absolutely destroy this stupid elf. Look at him there on his giant dragon. That dragon is just pretending to be a dinosaur, which is outrageous. Look at these Medusas. They're kind of pretending to be dinosaurs. That's outrageous, too. Okay, there's one explosive squig. We'll need to be careful about him. We don't want to have him blow up on a Saurus. That would be both incredibly great and super sad. We'll put the chameleons here. He's got Doomfires. I don't know if this army has cold ones. Dark Riders? No, they ride on horses. But anyway, we've definitely, like, his last army had a bunch of them. He might have some feral cold ones there somewhere. Anyway, it's outrageous is what it is. Now, we want a nice position with our Stegodon. This is perfect, right? We'll have the trees here and here, and we're going to be able to shoot the Reaper Bolt Thrower. It'll go forward. It'll try to trade with the Blessed Stegodon. It doesn't win that fight at all. And that'll let us put our spears in the trees and stuff. It's going to be super wide. We're going to be fighting over here also. And right there. Pull these guys back here. These will be in the trees supported. Gor-Rok can probably solo Rakarth. In any case, I'm not worried about him getting murked. Like I was in the fight with the Masque. Rakarth is not that caliber of fighter, right? He doesn't have magic attacks. Basti in the back line, they like to wander around. And then we're just going to have the cavalry in support here of the Blessed Razordons, who are going to be able to beat down whoever looks around, healing, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll have Kroak embedded here. Seems good. Chameleon Skinks have, 50% missile resist, so even though they have a small amount of hit points, they get to hang out for a long time. The Stegodon will just, break their artillery pieces in short order. They will have no choice but to come forward. And here at the maximum range, if they don't move pretty quick, we're just going to start seeing... I said, start seeing... There we go. There's only so much they can put up with, right? And here, I think shooting at the skirmishers is a totally fine choice. They don't have any, super crazy artillery. And we're not really that worried about the bolt thrower. Bolt throwers are fine. They're cost effective. Cost effective is a rude way of saying you don't have to be afraid of it. The polite way is saying a multiplayer centric unit. But something like this, where they're large units, but a lot of them, like a cavalry unit, that's really where Stegodons shine. Because their bolts go right through them. Well, depending on where they're shooting in the formation. Of course, it's always just about, where the shots are going to be nice. Like this, the bolts we were shooting here, because some of them missing, you know, they still did a ton of damage right here, right? And the squig reloaded to the side there. We're going to try to go around the rear that way. And Gor-Rok, you know, if... I guess he doesn't have the benefit of knowing all the stuff's in the trees, right? So he probably thinks this is awesome. We're not really afraid of his whole army here. So we're just going to charge in on the Doomfire Warlocks and see if that's dumb or not. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. We went up from basically no ward save to 43 ward save and 40 fizz resist, so if we get dived by Rakarth, you know, 80% of his damage doesn't exist. We get knocked over by something. And we just need to pull back here because their stuff a little bit was getting in range. Okay, we go way too far in that direction. Poor performance indeed. Gor-Rok, insistent on proving that that fight earlier was a fluke. And Lord Croak is like, oh, you know, you're right. Why don't we give you everything here? So now he's going to duel here. Now he's got an 80% ward save. Pretty good. Alright, now that we're engaged... Alright, where's the Croak Blob? It's here. This is where we fight. This is where some of their units are currently choosing to be. They're trying to move out of it. It's, you know, it's not going to be as great as it could be. A lot of these are single entities. So it's just going to delete all of that stuff instead of everything in the whole world. And Gor-Rok with support is beating down the big guy. And of course, I actually think it's a lot of the Blessed Razordons who are scary fighters. And here, we're just trying to get on top of the Dark Shards. Rakarth's taken off, trying to run away. Shameful display is what it is. Let me dive on the Reaper of Throwers there. We're just going to let our guys use their prerogatives here. Dive in here. These fools trying to run away. We're going to catch them with an amazing deliverance of its... Look at the elves and how they run. Pathetic. Lord Croak will not allow this to stand. Man, this game's so cool. I totally forgot about the squig. I don't know what happened. That was probably when somebody took a lot of damage. I totally dropped the ball on that one. Oh, and we let the Razordons get jumped because our cavalry that was to deny the flank hung back whenever we moved forward. Not ideal. But Lord Croak's... He's magic. No, we're just going to dive in here. Lord Croak's amazing magic emporium, you know, you can't really go wrong with it. And then we just need to let our guys light up here, and then when we get our cavalry finally in, you know, they'll be nice and fresh for the destruction of the foe. Lord Croak getting shot up over on this front, you know, but he definitely sent a message, right? but we are definitely in a terrible spot over here, you know, getting sandwiched between a couple of fools. But Skrolk's support has come in the form of our cavalry that we did take. Rakarth's running away again. He's got 24 HP. Somebody stop him. They're in March, so we don't have to chase them down once it's all said and done. And the Razordon pack gets the kill. Indeed, Neo. Indeed. And we knock him out. We're going to stay in the battle to let Skrolk regenerate. Yeah, because we might need to haul pretty soon. More worried about... you know, yeah, Skrolk. Because they'll be off of the field before too long. If we can even get there. You know, let's... Yeah, we'll just do that. Get somebody, something. They probably won't get back from the dead. They don't. It's okay. Bum bum bum. You know, Skrolk gets like 1,000 hit points from waiting anyway. It's fine. Rev crystals are good. I'll always believe they are. In an army with a life caster, they're extraordinary. Because it's much easier for the life caster to keep a unit near top hit points, and then the Rev Crystal brings them back to life once they're already there. And we're not that bad on money. The replenishment's attractive, but we're going to be in our lands anyway, no matter what happens. We'll take the money. And get the Rakarth defeat trait for Gor-Rok, because it's the Slan who defeated him twice. And now he's got it for a nice bonus first knowledge of 8, which is, you know, fine. And then 5 leadership negative to... so very good stuff. And we unlock the Feral Carnosaur. What's special about him? That he has Vanguard? Don't they all, though? No, they do not all, though. Oh, and it doesn't rampage. Oh, and it has Strider. Yeah, rather a lot of differences. Yeah, losing Rampage and gaining Strider, I mean, extraordinary, right? But as with all the great RORs, man, they have so many good ones. You know, you kind of want to save them for a rainy day, whenever that might be. But Tupac's over here, and his army is solid enough, you know, with this core and, you know, his beady skin coracle to back him up, and he's a battle toad of life, so 1,400 on his barrier now, super good. And, you know, just a little bit of punch here and there. He's gonna go in, take the fight to the Skaven soon. So Gor-Rok, so this guy is maybe gonna deal with this garrison. In which case we try to get up to Blood Hall. Well, we'll figure out what happens next turn, because we can't go any further. Well, we can go to March. This way looks better than that way. Yeah, so going this way is fine. We don't lose any potential moving upwards. Gor-Rok is now, you know, looking a little more respectable with his big weapon strength. You know, getting a little bigger because, of course, we never got his weapon. And indeed don't have a single weapon at all. Not one weapon drop for the whole campaign. Pretty funny stuff, right? But hopefully there will be a Skaven left alive for him to get. That from, we've got all the replenishment on him now. And what that last thing demonstrated was that this missile resistance will help him out a lot. Wow, he got trucked on that bad and he already had 60% missile resist? My man would have died without it. I guess that was like three Dark Elf units shooting him all at one time. Well, now he'll have 75 missile resist and be even more obnoxious for the enemy to deal with. And getting HP for him seems fine, but I think we're just going to take damage. No. Yeah, we'll just take damage first. After all, we probably, like, the likely opponents for him aren't going to be able to truck on him like Skulltaker and Masque. I think they're about the strongest folk in this part of the world when it comes to hand-to-hand fighting. I don't know, Luther might have magic attacks. We'll figure it out. What we're hoping is that this will resolve and he'll, like, burn that down. And then we'll be able to just immediately go north, take Tupac this way, and deal with him over here. And then in a couple of turns have its, maybe by taking this, you know, we'll have the commandment in time to get faster buildings. Don't play there, but scary. Yeah, you know, and it could have been like Medusa shooting at him too, who have, you know, 500 weapon strength and are pretty good at sticking a shot on what they're trying to hit. Now, the important thing that I don't know beforehand, is this going to give missile block to my Saurus that don't have shields? No. That's okay. Oh no, we're just working on that one now. I'm like, it doesn't look like it got better anyway. We just got the recruit one. Why won't it read? Alright, so here... it looks like that Beastman army just did whatever. Maybe they sallied out and beat them. Yeah, it looks like it, because they definitely had a fight. Well, we're going to... yeah, going up here is a non-starter. You know, it's not great that they got this place. I think we just abandon this settlement. No, we'll have one turn of warning before they get there.
You will pay the price.
But Gor-Rok will play Whack-a-Elf for a little while here. Oh, they don't even have a raiding stance. That makes sense. I mean, they're lizardmen. What would raiding entail? If we go to ambush, they might do something careless, and that would be good. Tupac would just move up to Jodol because that is the choice. Get another one of those standards, which is quite a nice one. And then take this, which gives us, you know, construction time and research rate, both of which are good. So they sacked Oixel, but now this guy's here with quite a interesting stack. You know, horned ones are pretty dang good. They've got some dinos on loan from me, so that's nice, and 5 Razordons. I mean, if you could protect them, 5 Razordons would be good. Can you protect them against Skaven? Maybe against Skrolk Skaven, right? But anyway, Tehen has gotten his bird. He's level 10 now. Man, it's been a hard graft for him, but of course the way that the map is shaped, there's a lot of movement that doesn't end in battles for the poor, honest lizard folk. Speaking of, Tupac gets to level 12, my man. And we take a Dwellers Below. Skin Priest of Heaven gets a Fireball Bound spell for four fireballs for free, which is extraordinary. And when you're on your Pterodon, it's super good. Of course, we're leaving them on there just for mobility and stuff, but whenever we get to the big anti-infantry monsters that also have, you know, artillery on the back, that'll be what we're going with. But then we'll ultimately upgrade them all the way. Because, you know, sure there are giant spiders, but till you've seen giant triceratops. Alright, so if we can just hold on, right? Because our economy's upside down, but not like super bad. Like 18 turns of this is fine. That's a sustainable amount. 18 turns of red in Total War might as well be done. And the ambush worked perfectly. They came back to regroup because they didn't know I was here, because I blended in, because I'm a very stealthy boy. And this fool comes here, which is beautifully going to pull out the garrison. And we're going to do this fight because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, right? Because they have a black dragon, and a Charybdis, and 2 Hydras, and a feral Carnosaur. How dare they? How very dare they? The Carnosaur is very mistaken, and we are going to illuminate the nature of his mistakes. When Gor-Rok bonks him. So, is there anything here to be afraid of? No. We're just gonna run Gor-Rok in and snipe their lord. And everybody else is going to hang back over here, and then we will address them as they come up. You see, sportsmanship is good, but Gor-Rok is not a gentleman. Gor-Rok is a champion of Itza, and he's going to do whatever he wants. Artillery support right here for when they come across. Skirmish mode here. Very deep set Razordons. Spears in the back because they're going to be flank response. Because Gor-Rok is not afraid of any of these people. He is enlightened, right? He has a 40% ward save and 43% ward save, rather, and 40% of the other. He is just gonna go in here and brawl. I'm literally not afraid of any of them. Yeah, you better run. I'm gonna send you back home to Mama in a cardboard box, Caladriel. If that even is your real name. She doesn't have a title. in Dark Elf world, this is like being a total scrub. TLC's gonna write a song about her. Look at him running. Of course, the one thing you can do is run away from his stubby little legs. He's like Sigvald, right? He's like, no, come back here, I want to hit you. Hydras are very much like dinosaurs. Shooting at Hydras is dumb, though, because they regenerate. Why don't we get some damage in on something that matters, like the spears? Chasing them. Yeah, none of their stuff has magic attacks, so I'm not worried. They're not scary. She's a Shadowcaster too, so she can't even like Spirit Leech me. And honestly, them moving this far away is pretty funny. She was already in March though, but we're gonna get them exhausted in no time. Alright, now, let's see if this was a good idea. First, we're gonna attack the Carnosaur, because this is the most personally outrageous. You wanna go, bro? Yeah, I'm talking to you! Get some! Think you can knock me down? You cannot. This is the only thing that matters now. This is what the people are here to see. Gor-Rok, no, you need to hit him, Gor-Rok. Don't let him run away. Coward. Because the thing is, of course, that Gor-Rok is like... we haven't taken any damage at all. And we won't. They haven't even gotten through our very modest barrier. But they have run away from us. You coward Carnosaur, come here and fight me like a dinosaur. Because now they're like bored of how much better I am at being a dinosaur than them. Look at them. Look, this guy's like, I'm 5 dinosaur, and Gor-Rok is not impressed. Just trucks him. Thoroughly unimpressed. Gor-Rok hits them again. Their reinforcements are on the field. Gor-Rok doesn't care. Look at, look at this. They have not got through the barrier because that's the nature of our power. And, yeah, we are, I guess we're just gonna fight this Hydra till we kill it. Why not? The Feral Manticore getting shot by the Blessed Stegodon, which is brilliant because it's rampaging it backwards. Hilarious. Hate that for him. Just devastating, honestly. Anyway, this is the good stuff here. When you get a fighter like this is like the Gotrek of the Lizardmen, right? Gor-Rok just too mad to die unless you have magic weapons. Alright, they do get a heal. It's every minute they get 12% life back, but we're gonna pop them right here. I hope. Because the thing is that if these guys, like, choose to just, like, walk away, Gor-Rok can't necessarily catch them all again. But killing, like, a monster or two and making all of the rest of them walk, that's good. Did I turn off the music again? What button am I doing that is doing this? Maybe they're just not playing the music. Got it. That's okay. But we beat down the War Hydra. He's running. Importantly, none of the spears are going with these big monster beasties here. And the Black Dragon must be getting shot by the Blessed Stegodon because, oh yeah, he's just like hanging out here. Missile resistance, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't apply to artillery. But, yeah, alright. The Hydra actually gets away and will be back, which is pretty annoying. Let's go hit their leader. The thing about Gor-Rok, though, is he can't, like, destroy these blobs or anything, you know. He can just not be hurt by them at all. Anyway. The important part's about to happen now. I feel like I'm going crazy. Why is there not music? Like, I hate them so much for there not being any sound. There we go. No, maybe that was just a dinosaur. Anyway, we take a huge amount of damage somehow. Oh, from a breath attack from a dragon. Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. Look at him. Look at him try to do something smart. Not great. Well, it's getting messy here. And these guys are blundered. It's wow, what a time. Anyway, the Stegodon is just like fighting the dragon. I bet he wins. Gor-Rok is busy not making a difference. But if we get just like one good volley with... Yes, there we go. That's what we needed. One great volley. Shoot the Feral Carno, and Gor-Rok, you know, it's not like a waste of his time to fight over here, but he could make more of a difference with the other things here. Blessed Horde ones charge into spears and destroy them, because, you know, the spears were embraced, that's what matters most. Alright. Deliverance, swear here, yes. And then we need to get here to rescue the skirmishers. The Razordons are spread out like psychopaths, which is incredibly annoying behavior. Gor-Rok continues fighting over here and does not make a difference in the battle at all. Beyond making them engage, you know, it would be better if he were over here. You can make more of a difference that way. But we're just going to push through this way. These... at least their skirmishers are trying to flee, which won't work. It can't work. It'll never work. Blessed Stegi fights the Feral Carno, and of course it's got a little bit of backup here with the Feral Bastillodon. Big dinosaur battle, of course. Really shameful for the Carno. And, you know, their bigger herbivorous brethren here really taking them to town and saying, hey... Like, do you not understand the plan, man? Were you not listening to the plan? And the Carno's just like, dinosaur, dinosaur. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Look at my beautiful boy, he's almost dead. 12 HP? How is he not running? Oh, he's the bravest boy in the whole world. Run away, Bastiladon Rev Crystal. Run away into the trees. Save yourself. Oh, if something happened to him, I'd never forgive myself. The good news is Gor-Rok has beat almost all of those guys down. The other good news is the Saurus, push against those fools is going well. Our infantry is beating down their infantry. And army losses are just a matter of time. They routed someone? Oh, it was skinks. I'm like, how did dark shards? I think those skinks were already running also. We're giving him no credit. Now we could have put the the cavalry onto the running missile troops. That would have been good though. So we didn't do that. Anyway, Gor-Rok gets 2,800 value. It wasn't a waste of his time, but was it wise? No, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're fighting in that bigger fight, you can send Gor-Rok places to beat down the people that are really hurt. But we didn't get to do any of that on account of how he was busy not taking any damage and being a total champion and could have put the whole thing on his back if we just would have stood in the trees and let him do it. Rev crystals can't heal themselves. That wasn't enough to heal these guys. Alright. Good deal. Importantly, we lay a tremendous beatdown on the settlement garrison as well. And take care of that army that was spinning off to the top. And he just got another lord here. So, at the most northern place that he just took from us, the Blood Hall, which would have just been like level 1, he will be putting something back together again. It's likely enough that we'll be able to stop him from doing too good with it. We need the replenishment, not least so that this auto will let us get through without losing our guy. Oh, they got onto the sea. That's bad. Alright, we lose the skink, but not the Rev Crystal. That was what I was worried about. Here we sack occupy because we're less concerned with this place and we may not actually hold it. It's yellow anyway, so, less profitable in the long term. -3 upkeep for Saurus all armies. Okay, well, obviously it'll be worth pursuing some. But no, really I just wanted the money, for comfort. We are 1 level away from getting the Shredder of Lustria. What do we do before then? Alright, so what does the army need? The army needs... The army needs another hero to stand and go and delete things. That hero can take the form of the cohort of Waddle, right? Because they've got the magic attacks, they're perfect vigor, AP, they can daze things. So... yeah. And they'll be the big, armor-piercing threat that's not like cavalry, it can stand up and fight happily for longer periods of time. Very expensive. Hopefully worth every penny. The alternative would be like the Terror, but again, that's like a different sort of thing, and that's just another big dino. Like another big dino, something bad. We could have gotten next turn in retrospect. Alright, do we take speed for him now? Now that we've seen how slow he is? You know, 15% speed will just be a couple. It still might be worth something. We don't need... Yeah, you know, we might as well. Because it's not like he took any damage, right? So does he need the HP? You know, does he need... that? No. He'll be okay. Oh yeah, and the old exorcism gives magic attacks to our whole army, which is desirable, obviously. One more turn for Rite of Awakening, which will let us get another Blessed unit. I actually... Now from seeing how you can just, like, be using the Rite on cooldown to generate the Blessed Spawn units, I think I said this the other day too, but, like, I feel like Lizardmen campaigns will be much more up my alley than they used to be. Alright, what we're going to do here is move to intercept stance and go like so, and then maybe if they try to, you know, do something, we'll catch them. Can we recruit from this stance? Doesn't say that it disables it. Alright, so we get the web thing. Another oracle. Able to get stegs. And we can get 2 of those guys now. And then we need to build this building so that we can get up to Dread Saurians eventually. Oh yeah, and then obviously we need to build the pools. We don't need another level of this. I'm quite happy with the level of the troops that we're getting from it. And in the longer term, we might break it down. This place had a taming pen built, question mark. It must, you know, it's the equivalent of whatever else it was the other way, but... So this guy gets 500 experience a turn, but he makes other people he's hanging out with worse. So I guess we just get him and let him grow up and see if he becomes impressive on his ancient stegodon someday, right? After all, eventually, having a stegodon with restock, I mean, why wouldn't we want one in an army? Why wouldn't we? And 10% missile block is still fine. But yeah, we could, you know, and then we could eventually put him in the main army where it doesn't matter that we slow down their experience gain a little bit, eventually. We'll be able to get another Skink Oracle, which will be another huge increase to our costs. And then 2 Sora Scar Veterans for another big one. But, you know, we'll have some fights against the Skaven where we'll make a little money. Alright, do we... take growth, yeah. We probably shouldn't have broken it down considering the place we were at, but that 9k, if we didn't have it, we wouldn't have been able to upgrade all the buildings because we would be at, like, you know, 5k right now. We wouldn't have enough. As it is, we're still playing it pretty close. Which I don't absolutely love, but, you know, it's technically good. And this right, you just always do it on cooldown, no reason not to. Now, we have a Metal Priest on deck. I guess we just keep on taking that, right? Because we've got a couple life already. And Metal with some cool mod like 40% more spell intensity is more interesting than the other ones could be. Because, again, like, we get access to Heavens through the other stuff. And we already have, you know, Gor-Rok here. But... And life's interesting enough on its own thing, but, you know, if we have Earthblood going around, then what if we have an army where, you know, we don't need a life caster as much, because we don't have, you know, the big monsters in it, a cheaper army, and then if there's big monsters that it needs to deal with, since it doesn't have the monsters, you have Overcast and Final Transmutation for the murder. So this is contested. We won't be able to recover our life at sea here. Well, then we'll definitely just... Well, it's really just the Rev Crystal that's weakened. But there's no benefit to chasing this guy down. They can't get more while they're at sea, I don't think. Oh, Alberic is killing these Skaven. We're never going to get them in time. But on the upside... Alright, these guys have several crummy armies. That's good. We're just going to move here again. And hope to catch them as they go in the underway. Cutting it close, but we just need to get a battle over the end turn. Yonbo wants a non-aggression pact. I don't think so, Yonbo. You're fighting against my man Mazdamundi, who looks like he might be winning. Hey, and we do catch them underground, indeed, which means it's time to do a fight. Huzzah! They don't even have any menace below because we are catching them in a place where they don't want to be. They do have a Warlock Lord on top of a Doom Flayer. He is lore of Ruin, though, not lore of Lightning. No, he is lore of Lightning. No. All right, well, we'll be taking some damage there. Fortunately, we have a 15% army-wide ward save from the Lord also. So... I mean, it's just a crazy, crazy ability to have, right? Let's get to it. There's Poison Wind Globes, and then there's Warp Fire Throwers. But other than that, you know, the good news is we've got a Blessed Steggy, so we're going to be able to force them to the fight. And in an underway battle, the annoyance of Skaven being able to go around, not so much there. We're hoping for not too many trees. There are a lot of trees. This is probably a huge map. Yep, it's this one. Because we're in the appropriate stance, we actually have... You know, we could deploy all the way forward, but the thing is that the rest of us would be so far back. We could deploy in the trees, though, and they won't know we're here. Like, they don't even have anything that can really punish this guy, so we can just go nuts here, right? Right? Yeah, I don't think they can get me, because we've got Strider, 94 speed. Yeah, I think we can just have a party with him, and then move everybody else up as we can. Yep, this stance giving a bunch of our guys Vanguard, super nice. Yeah, we'll just go here and, you know, start having a party, because I'm not afraid of them. Because I outrange them. When Skaven don't have any artillery, and they... Oh, man, look at that damage! Alright, so he's actually... So this is really good. It says anti-large, but... Maybe that first shot just hit, like, everywhere down the line, but... Crazy work. And we're super fast, too, so we're just going to pivot this way and start hitting these wolf rats. I mean, yeah, that's a shot that did a big chunk of HP damage and killed 8 models. That's awesome. Skink Oracle, gotta love it. Starting on a super fast monster, and he's got Wayfarer as well, so if they even want to try to brawl, we just dive right in and get to a smash. A smash! Yeah, they're pretty sorry about it now. You can see that they're upset, and then the terror route, knew that was coming. Chumps. We're gonna get them out of run mode, because the whole point of this is to not be losing the vigor on the main force. Getting wins, which we'll save for the other casters. The Skink Oracle is a caster, but I think of him more as a guy who they give an awesome monster to at level 1. Oh, it's got a little bit of an arc on it. Nice. And then we can come in here and wind blast from above. Oh no, they saw us! We'll hit these guys with the Rev Crystal. Oh, they got me in the sky. That's smart. Or is it? But yeah, the Skink Oracle's having a total party here. What a champion. We are obstructed by the trees here. We're just going to charge in here and here. And of course, we're in skirmish mode here, but we will very quickly be getting rid of those silly wolf rats. We are fighting in the trees with our spear riders, who don't really have a good target here against the Skaven, but they were recruited to deal with Rakarth, who folded slightly more quickly than expected. Like, well, if little Skaven chumps is your problem, try a wind blast! These spear riders got trucked on. All right, let's give him a heal, right? We don't want to buy more of them after all. You know, they must have been shot by something. Probably warfire throwers who, you know, it says anti-infantry. Really, they're anti-everything. Just, you know, obviously if you're super heavily armored, they won't do that great. But 50 armor, that only gets you so far against such reckless hate. But now these guys, you know, they're doing all right, and we're going to give them a nice Rev Crystal on top of the heal. Skink Oracle arrived over here to help with the party, and on this front, of course, this Saurus, or Skinks it was, that caught up. That makes more sense. Over there. Warfire Thrower's hitting the Skink Oracle, but he charges right in, and of course, with his Wayfarer, them being in the forest is more of an obstacle to them than it is to me. We feast in such environments. And a character without, even a small character or unit, you know, without Strider, they're still going to bump into the tree a little bit. So they hardly want to be fighting me, who suffers no disadvantage at all. Could have healed more before we left. It's alright. You know, 2 Skink Oracles would be real good. Now, if he had spells of his own, that'd be good too. And it's already good. With a super clumsy engage and a army that barely works, we were able to get it done. And make 3,800 on the intern. Hey, and we get this one too, so perfect. Textbook example, if I may say so, of how to use this stance properly. You know that Skaven are cowards. You know that they are going to want to run when they see you. And if you can spare the movement here, then that 50% to catch, you know, so good. Fortunately, they do push up this way. We're going to march because we're not afraid of them at all. And because this will get us there a little quicker. Fortunately, we see that they have not moved out, and we know that this is the last bastion of Rakarth. And so, this, although it's been a little clumsy getting here, like, a little, I'm being overly generous to myself. It's been very clumsy getting here, but... Do we need a public order building here? We do, don't we? Yeah, we'll swap to public order, I guess, just for a second. Or a little while, anyway. So we can get things stabilized there. But the last thing I want is to look up and have a revolution there in 5 turns. Alright, so that went perfectly, and we're able to roll up here. And I just know that Alberic is going to try to get wild soon. But that's what we're here for. This feels so nice to look at this and see that, like, we're almost okay for part of Lustria. It's only turned 46. I mean, that's quick. I mean, this might as well be early. We'll go this way, try to get eyes on possible Skrolk reinforcements, but it looks like from us coming up here and popping those armies, of course, Tehen will be able to focus more in this direction. Alright, so we can get one more unit in this army if we need it. Of course, we could also put it in the main army. But the main army is the main army, so this one is what needs more help, right? We could go Blessed Razordons. Now, for all that we weren't using them super well in the other one, that doesn't mean that they're not great. I think they are great, and I think they'll go well with this army. We'll take one. And here, I mean, Greater Arcane Conduit, you kind of want to take because you get the spell strength, but we actually need to go down this line because we're soon to get regeneration, and that's just so good. Skink Priest of Heavens becomes immortal. Lovely. Hey, Kiara, how's it going? Nice to see you. We're playing the Lizardmen. We have big dinosaurs and stuff, including one that sort of looks like a Triceratops, as I recall, your favorite animal. Hey, you stop that now. This is not your job. This is, you know, this is, you know, I'm not upset that you've been doing other things, and I hope that they have been fulfilling, you know. Like, it's great when you're around, but don't feel like you need to apologize. Being silly. Alright, this King Chief will get... Yeah, we'll just take this one. He's not in an army yet. You said you're surprised to remember that. Look, for all the things that I might remember, there are far more important things that I am likely to forget. We all remember things in different ways, right? Alright, so Tupac here, doing great. Do we need... I feel like the regular skirmishers aren't needed at all. I mean, Blessed Chameleon Skinks are so far out of the weight class. You know, why are we hauling them around? We can just get... We've got a little bit more Blessed points, so why not get a nice army here? You know, the earlier we level them up, the better. It's like, what's even blessed about the blessed ones? Oh, they have 70% spell resist. Well, that's actually kind of cool, but, just more chameleons, I feel like, if we want more skirmish stuff. But we have... have enough points to get almost anything. Do you want just like some Temple Guard, some amazing blessed Temple Guard that, you know, why not? Why not get one? Now we'll have one amazing unit that's not good against Skaven, but, you know, is good. It gives you a 15% aura to physical, so that's good. Alright. Well. And we have 2 slots. Amazing. We're going to take a regular chameleon. Yeah, why not? We are so broke. We can't afford to put anything in Hollowaddle there. That won't work. Not just yet. We have to come back and deal with the vampires. And there will be at least one more tremendous knockdown drag out with Rakarth before this is all said and done. Because he's back. He's recruiting. He's still level 26, right? So we're going to... I mean, we're gonna land on his shores and talk our trash, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, we're here. Come out, buddy. Actually, what we might do here... No, I mean, we'll just fight, right? Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to belabor it. Because, just because they have walls, I mean, like... These are going to be base walls, you know. No cool towers or anything going on. We'll deny him the recruitment there. I mean, it's just Rakarth, right? Yeah, it's just Rakarth. We'll punch a hole, we'll walk in, and we will eliminate the foe. You'll see. You'll all see. Oh, the Triceratops in our army has like a howdah, like a big, you know, like a saddle equivalent, but it's called a howdah, you know, like if it's for an elephant or something. And on the back of it, with other smaller dinosaurs who are shooting a massive ballista. It's very classy. But yeah, see, this is our Stegodon, and on the back, you know, we've got our skinks and then the thing. But yeah, this is our best boy. Without him or her, not sure. You know, the dinosaurs, we're not sure which they choose to send to war. Perhaps either, you know. But we only have the one blessed Stegodon. I've been calling him my best boy the whole time, though. We'll stick to that, perhaps. Anyway, totally irrelevant. But yeah, but that's our delightful, you know, it's got more than 3 horns a little bit, but yeah. Alright. I think actually the lizardmen are a genderless species, if I recall correctly. Yeah, and they're just like spawned out of the like pools in the ground, basically, whenever like one is needed in a particular job. And the story of our character, Gor-Rok, is that when they were born, they were the only one born, that whole like cycle. You know, so they were destined for great things, even though he's just a little guy. Alright, so where do we want to attack here? There's 4 towers there. This is good. It's still covering it? Wow. You know, I really should think more about my positioning, huh? We're just gonna go all the way over here. Alright, so from here they can't shoot my army here anymore. Oh, they're actually gonna come out and fight. It's a bold strategy card. Let's see if it works out for them. So they charge my guy with harpies. The thing about the Blessed Stegodon is it actually loves to fight units like this. But we'll just beat them down here, and then fairly soon get outside of the range of these towers. And actually getting rid of these flying fools, pretty nice. We could just bust a hole in the wall like right here where the towers don't cover, but I think shooting down the wall will be better, ultimately. Alright, harpies are on their way out. You know, we could have had Gor-Rok fighting the tower the whole time. He's so far away! Alright, we're gonna bust a hole in this wall. Which will be nice, because the guys on top of it will fall down, and then we'll all laugh. We'll be like, ha! You guys let us shoot you off of the wall! Oh, they're gonna try to run away? No chance. You know, some of them got away. Gor-Rok is still hitting the gate. You know, he's doing his best. He's doing his part. Importantly, Gor-Rok can probably beat every single thing here. We're not gonna let him try though. We're gonna be sporting once we get in. Alright, now Gor-Rok's inside, and he's fighting guys. Now, does he kill them quick? No. Is it pretty? Yeah, it's great. Alright, now it's time to slow it down and dive in. We're getting shot by their guys. That's not ideal. We just need to get in through the gap, right? Alright, so for all of that, it didn't work at all. And, we're stupid. So basically, for all of that, our guys are half of the time going to walk in through the gate. But hey, some of them got inside. Good. Great, even. But to be fair to them, they're all doing what I tell them to do. I'm just, you know, dumb. And they shouldn't listen to me. This exploding squig is going to come in. Let's see what happens. Oh, well, it actually... You know, it did a ton of damage to me, but I think it did even worse to them. Yeah, it did. It did an incredibly large amount of damage to them. Made it look like I Lord Croaked them, but they just, they ran their dude in at me. Great. All right, we need to get on to Rakarth here. This Deliverance, too. I don't think it's going to hit that many. You know, it only deletes 1.3 entire units. Still pretty good. Gor-Rok gets in there on their big guy. My big guy, so superior to their big guy at this point. And we've got the cohort on there as well. Beautiful stuff. The explosive squig. Oh, no. Oh, they really did some damage there. I think, once again, though... I think my unit was drawn out, so it ends up deleting the units of theirs that were around, and we're still in an okay spot. Pretty funny stuff all around. Rakarth goes down. And with that, we're going to see a big chunk going down from their whole crew. But no, they got Murderous Prowess active, actually, so that sort of counteracts, or actually, +1 counteracts the malice they were getting there, but Blessed Horned One's coming in beautifully. And, you know, these guys also arriving. But of course, now that we're into the cookie jar, there's not so much that they can do. Gor-Rok, Gor-Rok. Come on, guys, let's get in there. Have you balked anyone today? Balk. We do get onto these dark shards and truck them. And Deliverance 2 on top of these dark shards. So these guys will either move through or not, but they're gonna have a bad time real soon. Now, it doesn't do very much damage to what they were on, but it deletes their health. Man, Lord Croak. Feral Cold Ones are here, which is very shameful for them. But at last, nah, our battle against the Dark Elves didn't last that long. He declared war on me. Let's not forget. Let's not forget that he declared war on me. I was minding my own business. I was picking flowers. Gor-Rok was remembering the day he was born alone with no brothers, sisters, and other lizards to call his spawning mates, you know. Very sad. Alright, so they both go off there. And right on time, we unlock the Regiment of Renown, the Shredder of Lustria. The Shredder of Lustria is a Dread Saurian. We also got the Thunderous one. Pretty good. So a Dread Saurian is a monster so big and strong and punchy that you'll think the other ones you've seen before were only pretending. It also has a big missile thing on the back. It's a gigantic target, but, you know, if you can protect it, quite amazing. Even if you can't protect it, pretty amazing. Now, it is insanely expensive. Clocking in at 675 upkeep, which is, you know, the equivalent of, well, 2.5 Blessed Horned Ones. They're very expensive. We've got big discounts, or it would be even worse. We get Mentor unlocked. Very good. Alright, so what we want to do here is walk outside of the place. The reason for that is they are definitely going to attack over the end turn, but we don't want to... No, they won't besiege it. They don't have any territory. They won't besiege it. We'll still get our replenishment. It'll be fine. Alright. And that is awesome because it's, you know, it's a great spot to be at. This guy doesn't need to be here anymore. And that'll save us a ton of money, too. You know, he probably didn't need to be here that whole time. What are you going to do, right? But we spend a bunch of the money. And Tupac's army, we're just going to move out this way and keep on trying to help, right? We're not really worried about an ambush, not from these fools. But, you know, he's got his lands here, and then, you know, we'll be able to have Itza as the anchor on this side right now, but Gor-Rok is going to sweep over this way, and then, you know, we're going to see what goes on with the Jade Court. He is actually, yeah, so, with Mazda Mundi right here, who, yeah, we will be signing all sorts of pacts with. They're going to make a ton of money. Or am I going to make a ton of money? I'm going to make a ton of money. So we hook up with Mastamundi, who is doing great, who is, you know, he's... Oh, how good this feels to see another lizard. And, importantly, you know, we'll be able to bind him to us with promises. We'll punch Yonbo. We need to cancel this, trade agreement, yeah.
There is no hope in resistance.
I trust you will not waste my time.
It'll count as treacherous if we do it too soon, though. Well, you know, Mazda might clean him up before we get the chance. And with that, you know, with preserving the two legendary lords that are in this neighborhood of Itza plus us, that's perfect. That's, like, so good, and I'm so proud of us. Like, unironically. Like, what a good job we're doing, right? Do we march here? What's the worst that could happen?
You possess some, no? That much is evident.
If we get into a fight with him, he's going to keep on sending guys from the whole way across the world at us. That would be very funny. But I don't want it to happen exactly. Eight? Wow. Okay, yeah. So some of these are green, and some of them aren't. Got it. I don't know. No, we'll hold off a little bit longer. Because, you know, they could still get cracked open if the awakening comes down. Although I think, you know, we might not have to worry about him. These are his 3 lands. And we know that everyone around him is at war with him, but that's still, you know, I mean, we'll try. All right. And they did wait and besiege us and take away our replenishment just like I thought they wouldn't. That's so annoying.
This will fail. No.
But I will be able to chase them in the sea and still regenerate because I control all of the sea. This is their last
My time.
grouping, so wherever they go, we'll, you know, we'll catch them.
You possess some merit.
He's strength rank 6 and our neighbor. Not ideal. But Skrolk is on his way out, and that is ideal. Oh wow, no. Okay, so what were we just buying? Because our money just hit the absolute, like, just plummeted. So let's... And this will have to do. We're still so close to broke, but not quite broke. And I have reorganized what I was like, man, if we're that close to not having money, we really should make sure we're hitting the right spots. But we'll let Ashland wait as long as, you know, he wants to wait to become a problem. Everything else on Lustria can wait, and we can save him to last. If that's how it needs to be. Of course, once we get Mazda on our side, hey-oh, there we go. And that actually saves us a ton of money, puts us into a positive place there. Yeah, we will just go down this side. And getting Strider for the Cold One Rider units will be awesome. That also, of course, does include, you know, the horned ones. Because Skrolk must be down to his last place. Yep.
My visions predict failure. The goddess forbids it.
Alright, so we can't catch them. I think, though, they just attack this place and die, because that's like... Yeah, I mean, like, we'll have We'll have walls and like 11 dudes. That's 3 Saurus there. 3 Saurus can absolutely beat what's right there, yeah. So we just need to get him. Back home as we can, because I don't think they'll turn back up this way. I don't think. And even if they do, even with just 7 people here, if they turn back that way, we'll recruit a lord there to stiffen the garrison or something. Oh, there we go. Thanks to our wise leadership, Tupac showing up made them run away in fear. Clan Pestilence is no more. This is awesome. Of course, we're going to have to press forward with something. What we want to do now is drop these feral basties, because we're going to recruit something else whenever we get home. And, you know, we just might as well stop paying for them for a second. Everybody else in this army can stay. Even the skink, right? But not for too long, because we got sort of Scarvets. Alright, we'll wait on getting, like, so we're about to go super upside down on money again, so I guess we'll wait just a little bit to recruit these guys, although getting a tough one, that's a bunch of good mods. We can afford to briefly wait. Like, 1 turn until he goes up, because we're so broke. Oh, they turned back. Well, you know, at this point, well, no, I should be thinking. Like, what if they replaced with Rakarth, right? This is super annoying.
I am your better in.
I don't know what to do here. I feel like Rakarth's going to come back to this army, though, and then he would still be up. This is such a waste of my time. This is really frustrating. I just don't think we can leave him. It's a huge waste of our time. At least we're not, like, losing money. And we're not under threat. It's just, this is the kind of annoying behavior that characterizes a total war. And, of course, it's just what you'd expect. Look, these are pirates, and we're stronger than they are. Of course they're gonna run away. Oh my god. Okay, we can catch her. Thank goodness. She marches past us in the other direction, so she can't flee because she was in march stance. And we managed to eliminate the 1,000 Maws. Glorious. Because now that we're not losing money, we can afford to go down to no money. Because some of this is going to actually make a little bit of econ sense right afterward. It feels great to finally be able to build buildings, you know. All those wars to make 30 grand, spend 25 of it on buildings, make 15 more, spend 15 more. This place has amazingly been getting growth this whole time, so actually is actually just a few turns away from getting to tier 4, which is awesome. I mean, that's so good. This guy's mad at us about the Mazdamundi situation, but if Gor-Rok's up here in the north, that'll be perfect. Yonbo's trait, I think, is like extraordinarily wonderful. It's like a discount to spellcasting, but you know, you care about it if you're a spellcaster, and rather less if you're not. Alright, we are too broke to do this. How did we end up at 0? Oh, because we tried to build these things here. And we had apparently literally enough... Oh, we had 1,300. Well, we'll take this. See, these guys are so good, and they eventually get carnosaurs, and that makes them hilarious. But you don't get them until tier 4, which most of the time you'll do before turn 50, but this has been a challenging campaign, right? Alright, great. Now, the elves and I may not get along forever, but for right now, that's fine. We've got all these other fools right on our border, and for now, at last, finally, we can have a party for a little bit. Ooh, we can collect income here for a few turns now. Alright. Are we not collecting income somewhere else? Alright, good deal. Couple more turns, we'll get slightly more income again, and of course, if you can just slightly afford your armies, that's all you gotta do. We're in between wars right now. I mean, there's the one with the Awakening. You never want to have 0 wars, though. It makes the computer freak out. Because it's like, oh man, this guy is not gonna have fun. I need to throw a war at him. But usually what you want to do is just have like 2 turns of not a war. I was like, Alberic, I'm surprised at you. I'm gonna give him the old 1-2. Bretonnia's fun to fight. They aren't always. They can be, though. Gor-Rok gets the good campaigner. One of these days, we're gonna do that quest. Alright, so if we want another blessed spawning here. Well, fighting against coast. And really more blessed skinks might be great. But how far do we want to lean into them? We could just wait and get like another blessed stegodon, which I think would be a good addition to our collection. Like, what do we get with one turn recruitment here? Do we want salamanders? Do we want an ancient Sally? It's kind of expensive. But so too is everything good. Just get a skink, fill the slot. Yeah, why not? We can hardly afford too much at the moment. Money here. The thing is, too, is now finally Tehen, although he doesn't have any cool wars to be in, you know, at least he can, like, rest a little bit. And then we can find a different war soon. Man, I am so not happy to see Ashlyn all over here, being strength rank 6 and setting up shop. However, he doesn't hate us, and I don't think he cares about anybody we're about to fight. So, you know, we can save him for last. I almost was just like, let's just march and get to it, but no, we can get there in a single turn, no need to march up. Hopefully, if Alberic takes this, do we just immediately hit him? I mean, maybe. He can't just be moving in on our ancestral lands. And you might be like, Ancestral, didn't you just take them back? Look, we had them for a super long time. I don't have time to get into it right now. But our great-great-great-great-great-great-grand lizard used to live there. This is very important to Gor-Rok. He's just thought about this area like 4 minutes ago. He's now an expert, and he's going to take it back. Hey, we finally get a weapon! Amazing. And hilariously, it's Warrior Bane. It's the first weapon we've gotten in literally the whole campaign. I think that's even true. Yeah, it is. And, Skink freeze that. Divining Rod is big magic item drop chance, pretty cool, but what if we get, yeah, one of these. Huge reserve capacity, more targeting range, what's not to like? These guys may never fight in an army, but they might.
You honor me.
Honor bound.
Alright, so Luther Harkin, I think what actually happened is in that single turn, he lost every place he had. Hopefully we can fight him. We're gonna go like so. Yeah, we're going to attack Alberic next turn. No matter where he goes, we're gonna find him. He's weak right now. We're gonna punch him while he's down. And then, you know, we're going to sweep over the other ones. We'll hit here at Chakwa and then probably move Tupac down here to support in this direction. And then sweep up here.
Heed your words, for honor is all that stays my hand.
I am an immortal dragon. But even
And I'm just so happy the Mazdamundi is doing great. I mean, 12 settlements is pretty great. He's even stronger than we are. And we'll just hit money everywhere, and before too long, we'll be revenue positive. No, we're about to make a lot of money in this war.
Out of the question.
Although, depending on what happens with the Huntsman's expedition, it could be a little annoying. I was like, that was so last legs. I was like, normally we would give him the honor of a battle, but you know. Oh, this is perfect. So it moves Alberic up in March to try to catch him. So Gor-Rok is going to be able to defeat all these guys in detail here. What we're going to do first is drop these Saurus for a Blessed Temple Guard. Yeah, we don't have one in this army, and we got to have one. We could take this one, which is like the other one, only cooler in a lot of ways, but I think we'll take a Blessed one. Save the other one for another army. Because the great thing about Temple Guard is they're incredibly hardy. 12,000 hit points and 95 armor, you know. They have charge defense against large and reflect charge. They can be like sat down, and you know they've got, you know, AP halberds plus silver shields. They're really a piece of work. Now what we need to do here is defeat Alberic in detail without him knowing that we're about to fight him. This is going to be super easy. We'll start here. Because Alberic moved in March, he's not even going to be able to run. Hard knock life, buddy.
Valor.
Now, we need to do, like, 3 battles this turn, so we are going to do them manually. And Gor-Rok will just like stand in the front, not too far ahead, you know. This way they'll be able to show up and help, like I'm sure they want to. So really, if we get the Razordons like right there, they absolutely will not be able to get on top of them. Oh, they got a little lower life thing going on. That's cute. See how that works. They've got the aura of the lady. But the Saurus Warriors make contact there. We get charged here. Not ideal, just by mounted yeomen. That's not so bad. Knights of their own trying to get on Kroak, so we're going to defend ourselves a little bit there. Knights Errant run in here. We get the rear charge. We come up here to defend. We just don't want to let them get on top of the Razordons, which is just what they just did. We get there just slightly too late to support. Feels bad. Lord Kroak getting beat down. But the good news is, and there is good news, Lord Kroak is fine. And the cavalry, our anti-cavalry cavalry, is fighting their anti-cavalry cavalry. Let's see whose cavalry is the most cavalrous. Chevalierian. Chivalrous. There's the word. I knew I could find it if I just stopped pretending I didn't know it. Slann are gigantic targets. Even with 75% missile resist, still getting beat down a little bit there. And they got a lady flying in the sky. Forza lady. It gets them only so far, of course. Is she like unbreakable? My girl is not afraid. I guess she hasn't suffered very much damage overall. But anyway, pretty good. We don't really lose models there. Kroak's a little beat down, but he'll get better before the end of it all. I think we just want to get a little bit of Rev Crystal action on the Razordons. I think this heal might bring some of them back to life. Maybe not, though. No. We get one more. You know, worth. Lord Kroak is getting his regen, and that's what really matters. Hey, KP! Started Morrowind on the original Xbox. Forgot about the journalist. Oh, yeah, you know, they really... you know, when you're an old person like us, KP, you know, you look back on the old era of games, you know, like you really had to think about it and stuff, but like really it was almost impenetrably confusing sometimes. And it's like, you know, now we're like, gamers just need the little waypoint markers, but like you go back and you're like, man, not only does this game not have waypoint markers, but I don't understand what I'm supposed to do, and I've played it before. But then you play it and you're like, wait, all of these quests are awesome. There's so many things going on. You can read. And we get Deadly Onslaught, which of course is going to make us much punchier. And we continue the bushwhack here. We're going to fight Alberic. We're going to give him his respect. Since we just, you know, started this war from behind his back while he was fighting one, I mean, not our enemy, not like me and Alberic weren't tight, right? It's me and Alberic never traded like a nice fur and never shared like a laugh, you know. Me and Alberic aren't friends. I don't have to apologize for what we're doing to him here. Now, Alberic probably wouldn't beat me in a fight. Nah, he probably wouldn't beat me in a fight. But it wouldn't be like a totally unfair fight like some of the ones we've been having. He'd be able to hurt us some. Not a lot. He's got magic attacks, which gets rid of a huge amount of our reduction, but not all. But we're just gonna get into it, right? Yeah, let's go. Smack! And of course the first guy he hits falls off his horse forever. Because really the thing like meeting right here too is he has jumped to the Blessed Temple Guard. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. They're not even trying to collapse the flank that way. They're trying to loop this way. That's not going to work either. They dive on Lord Croak. And they're, they're all-important archers never get into the fight. We stop the flank, we charge right through. Gor-Rok is brawling with a whole bunch of people here. Of course, he is a small character, not a large one, so the spears don't do anything against him. And the Blessed Temple Guard having a fun time fighting Alberic. Of course, he's still, like a real big dude, and it's not like a total gimme to be fighting him, but importantly, this is setting us up pretty nicely for the next little phase of this campaign, which is rolling through the chumps that are surviving in the north of Lustria because of what a good job I did. Because, like, back in the day in World of Warcraft, there weren't objective markers, right? And if you play Classic now, I think you still have to download a mod called Questy that everybody uses that just tells you where to go. But there would be stuff like go kill these wolves and get their teeth, but there's 3 different, like, kinds of wolf there, and only one of them drops teeth that are for the quest, right? And the whole game was full of stuff like that. But, you know, it would say, hey, you know, go here and find a guy to talk to by the lake. Well, you go to the lake, and then you don't find the guy, so you walk around the lake, and that's good, but then you realize there's actually 3 lakes, and, you know, like, and this is all fine, and it really does, like, feel like you're on an adventure, but it doesn't feel very modern, you know. Not like a lot of WoW does. But for every game with, like, sort of tricky to figure out puzzles and whatnot, I always look back and I'm like, did I even play Myst? I mean, I did. I remember we didn't have it, but I remember playing it at my friend's house. I remember playing it at my other friend's house. I remember playing it at that guy from church's house. Like, I played Myst. I played Riven. How did I ever play a game like that? Like, did my friend just tell me everything to do and I didn't realize it? Maybe. But I didn't own Morrowind, you know, one of my friends did, and I played it a fair bit there, but not nearly as much as Oblivion. Gor-Rok gets 15 melee attack when fighting at sea. Look, I'm not going to diss it. That might become really important eventually. You know, if we had these temple architect things, we can move people around when we build the buildings and they'd be cheaper. Wouldn't that be amazing? We're going to build a spawning sequence thing because this place is locked down now. I mean, relatively locked down now. Importantly, we are getting a bunch of money from winning all of these fights, which we will immediately spend on places to give us more money, as is tradition. And we're leveling up the geomantic web everywhere. And we still have a couple more fights to do now, because we just bushwhacked Bordalo. And now we have this one, and we can take the province for growth. Yeah. And then this guy will swing down in this direction to deal with them, but also Tehen's going to want a piece of this war, right? Oh, and,
A beast is still a beast. No
oh, wait,
matter
no, they weren't allies. It was the Huntsman and Jan Bo that are allies. Okay, I was like, ha, Wolfheart betrayed him, or maybe they were allies, but I think actually maybe they weren't. And it was just that, you know, he was trying to do it alone. But there we go. And there's Luther. What's Luther's trait? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Oh, and we get a talisman, which gives us quite a nice augment pop for a huge armor and melee defense buff every minute and a half. And now we get 15% more spell resist. Hilarious, great. And 10 leadership, so at sea, funny. And we get Dauntless, so, you know, a lot of traits. Now he has 45% spell resist. Now, once upon a time, that trait for Luther Harkin gave you magic resist, because magic resist and spell resist weren't separated, which led to a lot of really interesting interactions. Where, so like, if you had magic attacks, they would get weaker against spell resist, so magic attacks were bad against, say, the dwarves, who, you know, are famous for having those sorts of things. Yeah, and we'll just go this way. No, we'll go across and trespass, who cares. Sweep up the top, and this army will be able to roll up the bottom. And I think here on the Skink Oracle, taking the speed is the most important thing. We're going to take Rolling Skies just because Bretonnia actually does have flyers. We'll be fighting them for a little while. Not super long, I wouldn't think. But we've got another Mage Awakening. We're going to activate another Metal Priest. Eventually, we'll even take one, right? This will give us plenty in the pool. Let's just check right now. Yeah, so of Metal Priest, we have a third generation and two, fourth generation, sorry. So we've got a couple of Battletoad choices, or this one. So if we use this guy for our army, third generation are like, they're like Scholar Priests, I guess, right? So it would make all the characters in the force level up 50% quicker. But I think it would be better to just get a fourth generation one. Because Battletoad. When the time comes. But really what doing that on cooldown is about getting spawning sequence rights out. And let's get another beastie into one of these crews. Because, like, the Skink cohort is still better than a Feral Bastiladon at this point. Look, I love my Feral Basti, but... Sounds like he was trying to say the word croissant, but forgot how. Croissant. We'll never know. I mean, I really, like, getting Blessed Saurus Warriors might be just the way to go, because they already have better stats than the regular ones, and then they get better and better, and then, of course, they do have Perfect Vigor, which is nutty. You know, the earlier we do it, the better, right? So let's drop these two. Get these two right here. You barely pay a premium, right? It's, you know, 10% more for an incredibly better unit. Do we need this wall anymore? I don't think so. If we break it, we really could use that slot. Yeah, I don't think we need the wall at Itza anymore. Yeah, this army will be back home before we know it. Well, I don't love that Jan Bo is pushing back up against Mastamundi, but, you know, with our help, which will eventually arrive, I'm sure we'll be there. Say it's heartbreaking to see how much Bethesda spotted in the RPGs. Yeah, there's definitely been a trend, you know, in big studio games in general that I feel like we've all noticed towards that exact sort of thing, you know, just a lot of water in the gravy, you know, and they're trying to pretend like that's what the people have always wanted, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, it really doesn't matter if he's mad at us. We'll be fighting him before very long. Alright, actually, yeah, we'll go across here. March, because I honestly don't think they'll move out here at us, and they might not be able to reach us. This army's here, because now, even if they move a force at Itza, this garrison can beat one of their armies, right? This garrison may not look like much if you don't know what the pictures are, because they are all blue, but 8 of them are Saurus, so we're going to be alright. I think we don't take that one, because that could be built at a miter settlement. Better global recruitment duration, local +1 could be good, but this, yeah, you know, making the hero recruits +2 faction wide, we should definitely be getting this in a lot of places, right? Once we can. Of course, we went from having basically no internal empire to having quite a nice one, you know, with that little expansion that we've pulled off. Rather than going down through Itza, Tupac's going to hit here and then try to loop up underneath. We don't have swamp attrition on either character. They both beat Skrolk. I think that's true. Yeah. Beautiful. Of course, is it very sporting? Not very sporting. Alright, so this garrison is huge. Huh. Temple of Mists. Which, if we build it, it gives -20 leadership when they're raiding. But of course, this army, not too bad, but we'll have to get inside. You know, it'll just be a matter of getting inside. It might be a little frustrating, but we've got our punchy dudes once we're there. I'm sure that with the Blessed Stegodon, we'll be able to think of a way to do it. Debonair Paravon. I'm like, look, if it gives us an auto where I get to skip an annoying siege against a foe that's inferior like that, I'm going to take it. I am going to take it. You know, actually, taking comes to these Blessed Skin cohort with javelins, I mean, that's very affordable. They have armor-piercing, like, armor-sundering missiles. One of them could be fine. But at that point... Do we want Blessed Chameleon Stalkers? They have very, very small unit numbers is the thing. They've got like this crazy ammunition. I don't think we want them. We can just go to Horned Ones. It'll be expensive, but yeah, might as well. Now we'll have the big AP and the small AP ones running together. One is much more expensive than the other one, so... Anyway, but he gets level 16, gets regen. We get resist for the whole army. And this guy now gets stalk, which renders him a massive headache. I want to get the Briar armor with him, the armor where... You go invisible. We're going to give him the glittering scales. No, we're going to give him the armor of armor and then fuse these. Yeah, here we go. So Forest Cloak, we give this guy something else because we're going to give this guy. So he's got stalk because he got it through his tree. And now with this, it'll give him snipe. Snipe's the ability where you're hidden while firing if you're already hidden. So now this is going to be amazing. Very good stuff. And we'll take this talisman there, and he'll take the knapsack and be able to recharge dudes until he, you know, gets a different kind of job. Oh, and the Skink Priest got on top of a Stegodon now. So now this army has another big shooter there. Wonderful. And we need him to be like a duelist-ish. What's going on with the speed here? Oh, the armor we've got on. But you know, we'll find somebody else to carry it eventually, maybe. But yeah, we take the melee attack. Can we get there in time? Yes, glorious. Because now he's so far on the back foot that, I mean, that initial bushwhack, you know, he couldn't have been ready for it. He must have been surprised, but what are you doing in my swamp? This is Lustria. I live here. Y'all don't. We're going to go around, build more money. Just more money everywhere right now. Nothing but money places where appropriate. We're not going to worry about our lands in the north there on the Blood Halls. They're you know, far from our little spheres of influence here. This is worth 5 research rate faction-wide. It might be worth just grabbing it. Yeah, I mean, after all, why shouldn't we? we can get these eventually, somehow. Don't know how. Oh, they cost money. Okay, so we should definitely get some of these. Stock for all heroes? Probably worth doing, right? Because we don't want any of our heroes to, like, be soaking up damage or whatever. Like, we're perfectly happy for them to remain hidden and move in shadows and silence. Like, we're gonna have stalking carnosaurs. I love that. Who wouldn't love that? A peace treaty, Alberic. You clearly don't understand why this war is happening at all. And we might eventually need to take his land away if we can't find a nice way to trick him into a political alliance. He doesn't want to trespass over our friendly neighbor here, who doesn't love that we're fighting Bordalo, but it might stabilize. If not, then, well, it'll be a long life of fighting high elves in our future. Alright, and then here we definitely just want to hit this one up first. And then we'll loop back down. Is the sack worth it? I mean, if we're just rebuilding these places afterward anyway, let's just stop that. Yeah, we keep it at level 2, and then we can just sell that, you know, it probably ends up being about the same. It always sounds like Lord Crocus trying to say croissant, but he forgot what word he was trying to say. It's not that he can't say it, it's that he also forgot what word he was trying to say. Alright, so she is super beat up and is like trying to get through the tree line. We're just gonna go right here. Can we get here in time? No. We'll go to ambush. She may go back over this way, or she may continue on that way. If she continues up this way, with this army, with 3 peasant bowmen, 4 peasant bowmen, and yeah, she can't get there quite in time without dropping march, I don't think. So I don't think we need to be afraid of her. Alright, Fada Aquitaine gets replaced with Alberic, who moves to and camp here. With Alberic, he might be able to crack this thing, because Alberic is a very strong fighter, right? But that's when it's best to recruit your finest giant Kroxagor and just say, you know, fight him. Or this guy theoretically wants to fight big dudes. No, we could just give him Battletoad to fight. Propylene. They gave him the dumbest names. Because, well, actually, though, when we move down here, Alberic may not move back up there towards it. He's going to have other problems. We'll just see how it goes. We roll through. We're getting our stuff going on. Headsman, very nice trait to acquire. And this guy gets his cold one to ride on. So now he's no longer a slow boy. He is good at hunting down the foe. Yeah. We throw the quiver on, which will give him, you know, lots and lots of ammo. And we block his army, which is awesome, right? We're finally... Look at me, I'm finally doing stuff right. Blocking his army now, he won't be able to make it up there in a turn, allowing us to have more fun. We're gonna break this building, we don't need it.
The lady would never allow it.
Alright, that gave us Strider for our marching guys. Alright, so what we want now is what? We can pump up the skirmishers a little bit. Or get our big dudes better. Wow, this one gives us capacity for skink oracles. I hate that I didn't look at any of this for the longest time. Alright. We're just going to take this one because it gives us physical resist for everybody, and that's super good. We don't need this building, do we? We only need it for that, to give stock to all the heroes. Did we ultimately decide we wanted to do that? Yeah, we did. Broke again, but at positive 4K, you know, that'll only last as long as these tidy times in our empire do. But Yonbo, you know, Yonbo isn't going to want to fight us because Oh, actually he will, though.
But even my patience is tried.
Mazdamundi and Yonbo pieced out, which means Mazda's going to want to fight. However, since we're dealing with this fight soon, we're about to come up on Wolfheart anyway. And, yeah. So, right on time. And, of course, with our income, we can afford one more army that's super good. But if we can hold off on recruiting that army for like 5 or 10 more turns, then, you know, we can afford an even better army. Yeah, so he's got more guys there now. Fortunately, we're going to get here right on time and not lose this land to our ally. That would have been pretty annoying. You know, you really want to get entire provinces. And we get the mosquito swamps. Take that control so that we can swap this one for construction time. Build that next turn. I mean, construction time is also research, right? Right, yeah, so that's fine. So broke, but that's okay. Yeah, well, I guess... Alright, we'll fail to block his army.
I serve only the
Oh, we got rid of our guy. We need to cancel something we were building, but what? No, it's fine. If Alberic takes it back, we'll just take it back again. Yeah. And we'll move, like, right here and go to ambush. And then maybe he'll make a bad choice. Because if he just goes home to try to, you know, heal up and grab more troops, which would be smart right now, you know. He doesn't have a full stack. But either way, Gor-Rok will be able to catch him, or Tupac will be able to catch him the turn after. But, you know, there we go. He goes into March, and, no, he was in March and goes out of it. The ambush is foiled. And just like that, Bordeleau is taken care of. Now with Ashlyn here, I do worry about him. He doesn't have a lot of enemies, and he doesn't love me. Because even if we hit him, like this sea lane goes over here, which is kind of close to over here, but it's so far away. So if he declares war on us, it's going to be like the rest of the game. We're going to need to be hanging out here ready to hit him if it happens. But, you know, that's engaging. We'll take that because, you know, we've got somebody from all of the different schools of the lizardmen here. You know, we want to support them all. This army's more expensive than the other one. Oh yeah, because the Skink Priest of Heavens is... Yeah, these two heroes cost $1,000, that's why. Alright, importantly now... Yeah, we're just trying to get up there to brawl. And we're just gonna move these guys up to try to scout a little more, you know, get ahead of the boys a little bit. Because we're gonna push both of our armies all the way up. And then plan to recruit a third one here to fight the inevitable fight against the Sea Lord Ashland. That might take a long time to go, but maybe it'll be fine, and he'll sue for peace. If he does it once we knock him off the island, that's all right with me. The island, the continent. It's my island. Their base economy buildings scale very well. Most base economy buildings don't. You just gotta check on how much you're getting per level, right? But for Lizardmen, it's solid. And we're seeing the effects of that stack up. You know, we went from making no money, two very expensive armies, you know, at 4K and 5K for the cost. But getting it done, making a bunch of money. Well, theoretically, we could get, like, a military alliance with Ashland. Maybe. Like, alright, what do we want to get here? All of this is pretty good stuff. Oh yeah, it's all pretty good, alright. I think we take the marching, the movement here. Now that we've finally gotten a whole bunch of power out of this, you know, we've gotten cheaper and better, faster, stronger Soros and big dudes. Oh yeah, and we're gonna want to get a sort of Scarvet up in the other one. Well, you know, hey, at least we're getting them a level 5. This Weapon Master one, probably the most advantageous, right? Lowering the enemy leadership is pretty fun. We need to bring another one of these up north, too. They'll be too late for the whole... No, we'll wait, and they can be part of the new army. If we... Yeah, we'll, we'll recruit one of these guys to just hang out here. And he'll gain HP or not. And we'll just move him over in this direction to get some experience, to scout and do whatever. Because I think heroes on the map that do stuff get experience. And even if they get mad at our hero actions or whatever, then, you know, they'll get over it eventually. Just need more money to level that up, so we'll just wait here. Bumblebee. When we try to damage the walls, Marcus is not going to have any idea what's about to happen to him. Stock for all the heroes, that's right. That's what the more important thing is. A level of Great Turtle Isle. It's pretty insulated from the rest of this. And anyway, when we start this war, we're already going to be right up here. I'm only really worried about what's happening in the north here. And the potential of the elves getting annoyed with us. But, you know, we'll see. I sure wish they would move their forces somewhere out of my lands. But I guess we're super close to a short victory, which the victory conditions for Lizardmen, although they're very arduous and annoying, are awesome. The first one, you get a hero capacity of +3 for every hero. Super great, right? You know, because that's right at the campaign where you might be getting another army or two, and then, you know, you could take your old great heroes, put them into a new army, and put your new ones with your legendary lord, or just, you know, do whatever. And then when you get your long victory, then it's even funnier. The long victory, you get plus 10 to your recruit levels for all of your heroes, so it just pops off really, really hard. And here, we're just going to try for a legendary item, and we don't get it. That's okay. You get like a chance when fusing rare items together to get a really good one, and when you have something you don't care about so much like those. Although we did lose our, you know, spell intensity item. This guy, although a caster, isn't really a caster. This is a guy who is an artillery monster who can occasionally do a comment. Wahaha. Alright, well, I'm actually looking at the time, and I think this is a great time to end the video, right? Anticlimax. Because, you know, that was a big chapter, you know, we dealt with Bretonnia, we did all of that, we've got our centralized thing, and it's also 8:15, so I am hungry. I'm not actually, I don't feel hungry, but I know that I am. And as soon as I go and begin getting something to eat, it'll be delicious and just what the doctor ordered. Not the doctor. If the doctor told me to eat, I wouldn't eat out of spite. That's how American I am. Unimportant. Anyway, this campaign, from very fraught at the beginning, is now incredibly promising. And, you know, it feels good to turn the corner on it. That's the thing about it, though. Like, if you're playing Gor-Rok today, you have to know that you are in one of the toughest neighborhoods in the whole game. And if you can get Skulltaker, and if you can get the Masque, and if you can get Rakarth, then finally, there's not too many other huge problems. Ashland can get, like, a dragon, sure. And High Elves can get 20 star dragons. We don't really have anything that can deal with that. But hopefully they won't, right? Hopefully they won't. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. I'm having a real good time with this campaign. Really loving the Lizardman playstyle. I might play another one right after it. Maybe not right after, but with a different lord. You know, just exploring more of what we can do with this blessed spawning mechanic. This one, you know, we got to play through to get the achievement on this one. Any subsequent campaigns can be for the love of the game. Because this blessed spawning mechanic with Nikai the Wanderer would let us get all of the coolest units without having to worry about pesky things like recruitment or where we hang our hat. Be a party. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Really hope you've enjoyed. See ya, Kiara. See ya, KP. See ya, Neo. It's good to see all of you guys today. If you're watching in the future, I hope the weather is nice. I hope you learned a little bit of something about how to play Lizardman, and if not, I hope you knew more than me all along and enjoyed seeing my bumpy road to a modicum of success. But anyway, I'll be back later on today playing something, not sure what, and maybe I will see you guys then. You know, if you're watching in the future, that can't possibly be true. Don't worry about anything time sensitive. I'm sure people still put their pants on their head then every morning. See you guys.